Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today I'm doing another reverse dyed shirt. This one is a mandala and a spiral. I washed my shirt, and so it's fresh out of the washing machine. I haven't soaked it in any soda ash or put any other chemicals in it. I have it laid out flat, and I'm going to begin a mandala on the side of my shirt. So using a piece of chalk, I'm going to make a mark on the side of my shirt where I'd like the middle of my mandala to be. Then I'm going to fold the bottom of my shirt up to that mark and the top of my shirt down, beginning what looks like an airplane fold. Now I'm going to pinch that seam, pick my shirt up off the table and fold it in half. I'm folding it down one more time on each side. So right now, the side that's facing me only has 2 folds, and the side that's facing away from me is the one that has all the other folds on it. Using my sinew, I'm going to do a couple of small wraps down at the very end of the mandala. I'm pulling this really tight. I'm going to do a couple of small fan folds to one side and tie those with some sinew. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to make a couple of small fan folds and tie it with sinew. I'm also going to use my piece of chalk and mark where my sleeve is so that I don't make my mandala too large. I'm going to continue this process until my mandala is the size that I want it to be. I'm using the sinew instead of kite string because it's coated in wax. So that means that every place where I put a line of this sinew and I pull it really tight, the color remover won't be able to get into that area and remove the color from there. Then beginning on the opposite side from where I put my mandala, I'm going to start a spiral on the shoulder of the shirt using a fork. I'm going to spiral at my shirt and just kind of work around where I put the mandala on the side. Then I'm going to tie it up with some kite string. As I'm tying the spiral portion of this shirt, I'm pulling it really tight with this kite string. I don't want to break my string, but I want to tighten up this spiral so that a whole lot of the dye on the inside doesn't get removed. If I make kind of a loose spiral, when I stick it down inside the dye remover, it's pretty much going to remove all of the dye, and I won't be left with any black areas. Now that I have my shirt tied up, it's time to remove the dye. To remove the dye, I'm going to use Rit Color Remover. I have a 3.5 gallon bucket that I filled probably 1/3 of the way full of just really hot tap water. Then on top of that, I added a large pan full of boiling water. So right now my bucket is pretty full. I'm going to open 2 boxes of the Rit Color Remover, add those to the water, and stir to dissolve. Then I'm going to add the garments that I'd like to remove the color from. I'm going to make sure they're well submerged, and then I'm going to leave them for about 20 minutes. I'm also going to come back and stir them periodically. In this batch, I have 1 sweatshirt and 2 shirts that I'm removing the color from. After 20 minutes, I'm going to take them out, rinse them in the sink, and for this shirt, I'm only going to untie the portion that I spiraled. I'm going to leave the mandala tied. I'm going to throw it in the washing machine, wash it, take it out of the washer, and put it into my soda ash solution. I'll leave it in my soda ash solution for at least 20 to 30 minutes, and then I'll wring it out of my Panda spin dryer. So now it's ready to go ahead and retie the area that was spiraled. My mandala is still tied from the first time. I'm going to go ahead and respiral my shirt in the same place. So I'm just using a fork and beginning my spiral. And this time I'm going to hold it in place with some rubber bands. Now it's time to start applying the dye. I've taken my dye and put it down inside of 1 ounce needle tip bottles, which I purchased from Amazon, to make it a little bit easier to manage. The color I'm putting at the very end is Lapis from Pro Chemical and Dye, followed by Kelly Green from Dharma Trading Company, Turquoise from Grateful Dyes. I'm doing my best to saturate each of these areas really well. There's quite a bit of fabric in each one of these small areas of the mandala, so I'm going kind of slow and I'm making sure I add plenty of dye to each one of these sections. Bright Green from Grateful Dyes, Midnight Blue from Pro Chemical and Dyes. Because this portion of the mandala is tied so tight, I'm kind of having a little bit of a difficult time not getting one color onto the next section. Back to Kelly Green from Dharma Trading Company. Now I'm going to use my larger 8-ounce bottles when I go ahead and dye the spiral area. I'm starting with Lapis from Pro Chemical and Dye. I'm going to do a pie portion of that color. Followed by Turquoise across from the Lapis. I'm only going to use 4 colors on the spiral portion, so I'm putting the blues across from each other and the greens across from each other. I'm using Kelly Green from Dharma in one of the remaining sections. And I'm going to use Bright Green from Grateful Dyes in the last section. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn my shirt over. and do the same color pattern on the back side. I'm going to turn my shirt back over and add another light layer of dye to the front side. Then I'm going to put the lid on my tub. I'm going to set my tub outside where it's nice and hot, and 24 hours later I'm going to wash it out. And this is how our shirt turned out. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with this shirt. I'm a little bit surprised that I didn't have more of the dye removed from the mandala area. I must have had that one tied pretty tight. I also like the way it looks up on the shoulder where I did the spiral. Hey, if you guys are enjoying watching my videos, I sure would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. All you have to do is hit the big red subscribe button. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.